The biggest crypto bill in the United States is back, and according to Senator Cynthia Lummis, Congress may have one last chance to pass it. She recently warned that if lawmakers fail to act now, the next realistic opportunity for major crypto market structure legislation may not come until 2030. But there is another reason why this matters right now. The Senate is approaching its August recess, meaning the window to move this legislation is getting smaller. So this is much bigger than another political debate. It could decide who regulates crypto, how exchanges protect your assets, what happens if another exchange collapses, whether banks or stablecoins dominate digital payments, and whether America remains a leader in crypto innovation. In this video, I'll explain exactly what has changed, why this matters for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and the wider crypto market, what the biggest disagreements still are, and whether the Clarity Act is actually close to becoming law. Let's get started. The Clarity Act is designed to create clear rules for the crypto industry. In the United States, for years, crypto companies have complained that nobody really knows which regulation is in charge. One regulator may treat a token one way and another may completely disagree. That uncertainty has made it difficult for exchanges, developers, investors, and even large financial institutions. The Clarity Act tries to solve that. It creates clearer responsibilities between the SEC and the CFTC, set rules for exchanges, strengthens consumer protection, and establishes a federal framework for digital assets makers. Supporters believe this would finally end years of regulatory uncertainty. So what's new? Since my last Clarity Act update, a lot has changed. The House has already passed its version of this bill. The Senate Banking Committee approved its section, and Senator Cynthia Lummis has now released a new combined version that is 616 pages long. According to Lummis, this latest version includes months of bipartisan negotiation and more than 100 changes requested during negotiations.
We have a 616-page bill because I've listened to my Republican and Democrat friends, incorporated their priorities, and tried to create the best bill possible. That is how we got to a 15-9 bipartisan vote out of the Banking Committee in May.
Whether you support the bill or not, it has clearly evolved a lot since it was first introduced. This was probably the biggest moment in her Senate speech. She argued that Congress has already spent years negotiating this legislation. If lawmakers fail to pass it during this political window, future elections could completely change priorities, forcing the entire process to begin again. She believes that could delay comprehensive crypto legislation until around 2030. That's her opinion, not a legal deadline, but her message is simple. America has an opportunity to lead the crypto industry, and she believes that opportunity may not stay open forever. This is where banks started paying very close attention. One of the biggest concerns was whether stablecoin companies could pay interest simply for holding digital dollars. Bank argues that if stablecoins started paying attractive yield, people could move money out from traditional banks' accounts. The latest version of the bill takes a different approach. Companies generally cannot pay passive interest simply for holding a payment stablecoin. However, certain activity-based rewards may still be allowed. So the bill tries to stop stablecoins from acting exactly like bank savings account, while still allowing companies to reward customers for actually using their platform. This has become one of the biggest compromises in the legislation. Think back to FTX, Celsius, and Voyager. Millions of people suddenly lost access to their crypto. Many customers discovered that assets they believed belonged to them became trapped inside lengthy bankruptcy proceedings. The Clarity Act attempts to improve this. It strengthens custody rules, It's aimed to make customer assets legally separate from companies' assets. This goal is simple. If a regulated exchange fails, customers should have much stronger legal protection than they had during previous crypto collapses. This is one of the strongest arguments supporters make for passing the bill. By the way, if you are finding value in this video, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and help more people understand crypto in simple English. Now, let's get back to it. This is important because many developers argued that simple writing software should not automatically make someone a financial institution. The updated bill attempts to distinguish between developers writing open source code and businesses that actually control customer assets. It also recognizes self-custody, meaning people holding their own crypto while still adding safeguards against fraud, money laundering, and illicit finance. Finding their right balance has become one of the biggest challenges throughout the negotiation. The latest version also expands rules designed to fight money laundering, sanctions evasions, and other financial crime involving digital assets. Supporters argue that clearer regulation gives law enforcement better tools to target criminals. Critics worry that some provisions could still affect innovation or privacy. So once again, the debate is about balance. How do you protect customers without slowing innovation? Well, even after months of negotiation, the bill remains controversial. One of the biggest disagreements is ethics. The latest draft includes new ethic restrictions covering senior government officials. However, critics argue the restrictions don't go far enough because some provisions expires in 2029 and enforcement would mainly rely on the Department of Justice. Several domestic senators have already said those changes are still not enough. So supporters respond that the bill already contains major promises and waiting for the perfect bill could leave America without clear crypto rule for years. So the debate is no longer about whether crypto needs regulation. Almost everyone agrees it does. The real argument is what those rules should look like. Not yet, and this is very important. Although Senate leaders have indicated they want to move the legislation forward, there is currently no official confirmed final Senate vote. Another reason this matters is because the Senate normally needs 60 votes to overcome a filibuster on major legislation. That means bipartisan support is essential. Republicans cannot do this alone, so every Democrat vote matters. If the Clarity Act eventually becomes law, it could become one of the biggest regulatory changes in crypto history. Exchanges would finally have clearer federal rule, developers would gain more certainty, institutions may feel more comfortable entering the market, and customer protection could improve significantly. And America could become a much more attractive place for crypto companies to build. For Bitcoin, the biggest impact would likely be stronger market infrastructure for Ethereum, XRP, stablecoins, and many other digital assets. Greater regulatory clarity could remove years of uncertainty. That doesn't guarantee price will rise, but markets generally like certainty, and this bill is all about creating certainty. Personally, I don't think this is simply another crypto story. I think it's about the future of finance. I think this debate isn't only about customer protection. I also think it's about competition. Banks have built their business on attracting deposits. If stablecoin can offer similar service with attractive rewards, people may decide to move their money. That's why I believe banks are fighting so hard over the yield provisions. Crypto companies want clear rules, developers want freedom to innovate, regulators want stronger oversight, and consumer wants protection. That's why this legislation has become so important. Whatever happens next, the decisions made over the coming weeks could shape the crypto industry for many years. The Clarity Act has moved further than ever before. The House has already passed its version. The Senate has made significant progress, and a new 616 pages compromise has now been released. But the job isn't finished yet. The bill still needs enough support in the Senate before it can become law. So over the next few days and weeks, don't just watch Bitcoin price, watch what happened in Washington, because the rule being written today could shape the future of crypto for the next decade. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Should Congress pass the Clarity Act now, or should lawmakers continue negotiating? And if you want to stay up to date with the biggest crypto stories, make sure you subscribe. You can also follow me on X and join our Telegram community for breaking crypto news and updates. I'm Lamia, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.